Hey guys, hope you're doing okay. Now, I'm sure you've read the title of this video, so you know where it's going. So we're just gonna jump into this whole controversy that has exploded on Twitter and Twitch. Since I've been out, really, I missed the whole thing because I was in central London. But it's between Big Nose and King Jae and just the Tekken community as a whole. Although I don't know if everybody knows about this, and I've been asked to give my thoughts on it, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do now. Some people might not like what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm just going to start off this video by saying I was not offended by anything that I saw going on, because I know somebody's going to go into the comments saying, cry this, cry that. It's everyone's favorite word these days, even though they can see you not crying and just talking about something. I was not offended by anything, but I'm not blind either. So I can look at something objectively whilst not being offended by it and say, hey, maybe there's something going on here. Now I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on this and try to break this down as simply as possible, because I don't want to make this a long video. It really doesn't need to be. So to start with, there was a video clip from Big Nose's stream. So I'm going to play the clip here to you guys so you can see what's going on.
This Reina, okay? Where is Leroy? Okay, he is black. Okay. Eddie? Black. Okay. Raven? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Wait, what? Wait. Wait. Hey, wait. Wait.
Now I saw that clip before any of this controversy kicked off, and I didn't take any offense to it. I was a bit like, I don't really know what's going on here. I found it funny because of Big Nose's reaction to it, is the sounds that he was making and his stream chat. I generally find stream chats quite funny when they're just lolling and it's going crazy, but I didn't understand what the joke was, and you can evidence that by checking my Twitter and seeing that I said, wait, what? Even though I found his reaction and the stream chat's reaction funny. Now obviously other people didn't find this funny. The reason they didn't find it funny is because Raven had been switched to a white person, and this is very similar to a situation that some of you guys might have seen a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week or two ago, with Dan, where a black artist swapped the races of Okarun and Momo, and the Japanese public really did not like it one bit, and they were saying racism. So it's a very sort of similar situation. Now in the Dan situation, a lot of people were saying, yeah, we're tired of people race swapping our characters, stop race swapping Japanese characters, this, that and the other. It exploded into a massive situation. Now because this is Tekken and it doesn't have the reach or the gravity or the pull that Dan does, it's probably not going to go very far. It's just going to stay within our community. We'll talk about it and we'll move on. But it's not that much of a different situation. And I've always said that race swapping characters, when artists do that or when modders do that or whatever, I'm always a bit like, weird, but you know, people can do whatever they want. I'm not going to like get super offended by it. I certainly wasn't offended by this Raven thing, even though I can see what people are saying, because it's no different from the Dan situation. Everybody came out after the black artist when they did that, and even I said, yeah, why are you swapping the race of that character? Like, I don't really get it. You can do that if you want. It's fan art, right? Big Nose can swap out anyone's race with mods. It's his game. You know, I think as long as he doesn't take it online. I don't know how the modding situation works now with Bandai Namco, because I know they were banning people, but he can mod it if he wants. I'd still look at that the same way I did look at the Dan situation and say, a bit weird, but okay, whatever. So King Jae obviously saw the situation. He retweeted this and he said, looking at these emotes, don't know if I'm overreacting. And the emotes in question are from Big Nose's stream, and they are mostly of black people, like black people reacting to stuff. And so King Jae put that tweet out. Now he was met with a mixture of responses. Now when I looked at the emotes, I just thought, you know, okay, maybe it looks a bit sus, but I don't know if I'm offended. I don't think I'm offended. I wasn't offended. I said whatever. At this point, I was still out in central London, so I didn't get a chance to look at all the lore. But just looking at it, again, I don't know who Big Nose is. Never seen the guy in person. Never seen him online. I don't have a clue who Big Nose is outside of what I'm hearing here. So I wasn't like offended. I was like, whatever. But people seemed pretty annoyed at what I was looking at. So I looked at it and I was like, I wonder, all the people that are saying that this is silly and Jay's blown it out of proportion, I wonder if you switch them out for Muslims, or you switch them out for Jewish people, or you switch them out for women, maybe in compromising situations that some people might find funny, would they still be offended, or would they just be like, oh, these people are crybabies? Because, you know, when people don't have an intelligent way to put their points across, they just resort to calling you a crybaby or making some random insult that has nothing to do with the situation. And I've been online long enough to see how outrage works, and even though there are people that are constantly like, oh, everyone's a pussy these days because they get offended by everything, everyone gets offended by stuff. Everyone. All of these people that keep on saying, oh, if you're offended by this, by words online, you're a pussy, they're very detached from reality. You can offend anyone. Anyone can be offended, and anyone that is puffing up their chest in the digital world saying they don't get offended is likely lying. It doesn't make you a pussy to see something and be offended. It doesn't make you weak. I put up a video the other day that I found really funny between a girl from Thailand and a black dude in New York. And I found it really funny, but some people were super offended. I didn't think that they were pussies because of that. I thought, let me try to find out why they're offended. We obviously have different walks of life, or maybe from different cultures. What is the problem here? But instead, what you get are these digital tough guys who come online and insult somebody rather than trying to understand what the issue is here, as if offense can't be caused. And I don't believe any of these people that say that. It's not human. It's unfathomable. I think because our society has a lot of people that get offended over really random things these days, that when you see somebody getting offended, you automatically lump them in with the people that maybe have lost touch with reality, that get offended by everything, right? And so it just really dilutes the entire conversation. Like, there's no real conversation to be had. It's just insults flying all over the place. But I digress. The conversation obviously progressed. There were screenshots that were coming out. Now, I've seen a video that goes through Big Nose's Discord of people talking about Jay and the situation. Now, I've been sent videos before of people talking about me and their Discords and saying really like heinous shit, like bad stuff. Even threats. I don't ever bring them up because I'm just like, this is kind of like boys just talking in the Discord. There are some things where you can be like, this is really bad, but they're saying it behind closed doors for a reason. They're not going to say it to your face or online because they know what will happen. And that's not me saying that there's going to be violence involved. I'm just saying, you don't say it on these platforms because the platforms will probably ban you. You don't say it to someone's face, not because they're going to slap you, but because people don't talk like that in person. And that's something people always get mixed up. It's not me saying you're going to get banged up if you say that to me in person. It's me saying you're chatting shit behind a keyboard because no one talks like this in real life. There's a difference. At least adults don't behave like that. But I do think that some people are so chronically online that they seem to think that when you say these things, they automatically think, oh, he's challenging me to a fight. It's not that. It's that when you go outside, people don't talk like that. Okay, adults don't talk like that. Of all the people I've had issues with online, if I've met any of them and I've seen some of them in person, like I've said at Comic-Con or whatever, they haven't spoken to me like that. And I asked them, why do you talk like that online? Same response every single time. Not because they're scared of me. I'm sure they're not. And I quite frankly don't care. It's that people don't speak like that. So all these people that are writing these really nasty things about Jay in the Discord, or saying things about him, making comments about things that are completely unrelated to the situation, it's not because you'll get slapped up in person. It's that, you know, you don't behave like that in real life. So why do you do it behind the keyboard? It's very, very weird behavior. Now, we're going to get onto the whole racism thing in a second, but I just want to show you this screenshot. It comes from an individual called Ken CRX, and it says, thanks for highlighting the moment I subbed. You're also missing the entire context of that clip. Message Big Nose if you really want to know, but I'm sure you're just looking for interactions to boost your own dying stream. Just keep to botting, my guy. These are childish remarks that really like destroy the conversation and muddies the entire situation and just pulls it into avenues where they don't need to be. Accusing somebody of botting, obviously Jay being somebody on Twitch and YouTube, they're going to take offense to that. I mean, there was a time where I was accused of buying subscribers by some idiot, and even I was a bit like, well, where's the conversation? This is not what we're talking about. I ain't making random accusations like a 10-year-old. And then later went on to say, sure buddy, going from 20 to 70 viewers max to 600 plus all of a sudden makes a lot of sense. This guy forgetting that people can host you on Twitch, and that situation that he is referring to is exactly that. Jay was hosted by a larger Twitch streamer. That's all it was. But again, even if that was the situation, that has absolutely nothing to do with what is going on here. But wherever you go on the internet, no matter what you're doing, you could be talking about dinosaurs and somebody will start talking about some random bullshit that has nothing to do with it, insulting you. That's just how these people are. Obviously, Jay called this individual out and he said, again, boring accusations. If we're talking about my last stream, I'm playing a brand new character, plus the main man hosted him. That's the person that hosted the stream at the time. Obviously, if the main man hosts you, you're going to have an influx of people. It can be checked and verified if anyone thinks that Jay's lying, obviously. But again, it's just childish insults to destroy the conversation. These view bot and accusations make no sense, but believe what you want. Just know Raven is a black cat. character. This is also you calling me something I'm not to cause trouble. Nah, you lot are funny, all in secret Discord. And there you can see him saying, just call him an anti-Semite, you'll get away with it. And he responds by saying, yeah, that was me making a joke, Mr. J. I know you haven't laughed in a few years, but those still exist. I don't think that's a joke. That's not... Where's the... What is a joke? Is someone saying that is a joke? That's not a joke. There's no joke to be made there. You're telling somebody to call Jay something that can get him in serious trouble. And we all know that can get you in serious trouble. There's no joke there. There's no punchline. That's just petty, silly, childish jabs to try and throw somebody under the bus. Now, this is something that I want to highlight because I actually saw this being spoken about on Medusa's stream. Platin Medusa, who's another Tekken streamer, and I saw the reaction of the stream chat when it was put up and Medusa's reaction. And this is not an indictment of Medusa or his stream chat by any stretch of the imagination, so nobody take it that way. But I do want to ask a question, so I'm going to read parts of this to you. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see it because I don't think I could read it out on YouTube. An individual called Broadway said to King Jae, you are overreacting. And King Jae said, is this you or am I the wrong person or overreacting? And in this screenshot, which is from 2020, so it's almost 5 years ago, it says K-Wiss is just a black C-word. Sorry, no racism behind it. He is black and he act like a C-word. Just facts. I don't know how he trying to make Phantom look worse than he is. Now, I don't know what the context behind that situation is. I don't really need to know what the context is because if I turned around to you, let's say, right, if it's a white person watching and you were doing something that made me think that you were a C word, right? The C-U-N-T, see you next Tuesday. Would you not just be a see you next Tuesday? Why would I put white in the beginning, in the front of that? Why would I start with white? If you were a Muslim person that was pissing me off, would I say, oh, you Islamic C-U-N-T? No, because it's not about your faith. It's not about your skin color. It's not about your gender. It's just that you're being a C-U-N-T, right? So for you to say no racism, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? Now, I saw people laughing at this. I was like, okay, it's funny. Let's say it's funny, right? If I put any of those things in front, Muslim, Jewish, white, female, whatever it might be, suddenly the conversation changes. And you might be sitting there behind the monitor going, no, not me. You ain't everyone. Just like I said earlier, I wasn't offended by any of this. I'm just speaking objectively. But me not being offended doesn't mean that other black people are not going to be offended. I don't speak for the whole black community. I can only speak for me. I may not be offended, but I can't tell somebody else what to not be offended about. Just like, and we've seen within the Tekken community before, there was a situation where Speed Kicks made some comments and some Muslim Tekken players didn't like it and they lashed out at him because they took offense to it. You can't tell people what to be offended at. Now, I can almost guarantee you that whether you're sitting behind the monitor listening to this or not, if another word was used there, those people would be offended by it. Of course they would. You really going to sit there and tell me that if I put Muslim or Jewish or female or white or whatever it might be, disabled, whatever it might be, that those people wouldn't get offended? A section of that community wouldn't be offended. A large section of that community wouldn't be offended. You're talking shit if you believe that. You are talking shit. If I'm being completely honest with you, 100% talking shit. Now again, you might not be. Just like I am not offended by any of this. I'll sleep perfectly fine tonight. It's whatever. But speaking objectively, if you don't think the community you belong to, whatever that community might be, LGBT, a religious faith, whatever it is, wouldn't be offended, you are lying. So everyone's sitting there going, oh, you know, black people again doing this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, no problem. If it's, we say whatever we want and it's no racism or no prejudice, then we say whatever we want, right? Gloves are off for everybody. Anyone can get it, right? Emotes, language being used, it doesn't matter, which is perfectly fine. If it's guns blazing for everyone, if the gloves are off across the board, then no problem. Let's just use whatever language we find funny. You can't tell me what to say and what not to say, right? Whatever I find funny, you just gotta hold that shit because it's just words, right? It's just words on the internet. So if I want to say something that is offensive to your people or to your faith or to your gender or to your skin color, whatever it might be, you gotta hold that because we're just playing around, right? We're just making funny emotes. We're just saying things. Now again, I want to stress, I'm not offended by this, but I am pointing out the hypocrisy here. There is a large amount of hypocrisy, just like there was hypocrisy with the Dandadan situation when they race swapped Momo and Okarun. The Japanese people saying, hey, we're offended, stop switching our characters to black, they had every right to say that. And people went to their defense. So why would it change here? So to summarize, if K-Wiss was a C-U-N-T, then it would be because K-Wiss, the persona, or his personality is the cunt, and not because he is black. When you put black in front of it, it becomes racist. Just like if you put Muslim in front of it, you're no longer talking about the person, you're attacking the religion. It becomes offensive. And you shouldn't be surprised if a bunch of Muslim people turn around to you and go, hey, what do you mean by that? And you know, some people were talking to me about the situation. They were like, oh, Michael, people are so soft, man. Back in the arcade days, bear in mind, I was from the arcade days. I'm 32 years old, so I was around when the arcades were, and I heard what guys would say to each other. But you're in person. It's very different to being online. And that's something that I don't think a lot of like the newer generation really understand, or people that didn't grow up in the arcade scene. It is different when you can see someone, you can have that interaction face to face. The discourse does change because you're interacting face to face. It's not the same as online. So the way I might talk to Planted Medusa or Big Nose or King Jae in person, if I didn't know them, is not going to be the same way I do it online, because you're in a digital space. They can't see you. They can't hear the tone of your voice. They can't see the emotions being played out on your face. They can't infer anything. So when you make certain remarks, people are going to take it a certain way. Now, I'm not saying people can't make them. I'm not trying to police anyone. I'm just saying this is the fact of the matter. That is probably why people are so vitriolic online. Everyone reads everything in an angry voice. When you talk to someone in person, you're like, oh, they weren't angry. Which is why when I speak to people, I say to them, look, it sounds like I'm being blunt, but I promise you, I'm probably laughing behind the phone, but you can't see that. So in the arcade days, yeah, people would say crazy things to each other in person and then laugh and pat each other on the back. That's not the same as being online. It's a completely different world. Now, you can still say the crazy things, you can, but you ain't gonna get the same reaction because you don't know these people and you're not building that connection online. There's a complete disconnect. And saying things online and not being offended does not make you some tough guy. I've seen people online calling people that were offended by this pussies and spineless and they have no backbone. The other day, I posted up a tweet which went semi-viral. Like, it got 3 million views, and it was between a Thai girl and a black guy from New York, right? She's over in Thailand, and she said some things in there which some people found offensive. I thought it was really funny, but other people found it offensive. And rather than just insulting these people, I tried to have a conversation with them to try and understand where they're coming from. Why do they think it's so offensive when all of these black dudes are laughing at it? Why are the black women so offended? But what you get is you get all these people that they love saying cry, 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 cry. That's all they know how to say. Cry, cry, cry. They drag the conversation into places that it doesn't need to be. And that's all they say. Cry this, cry that. Because they don't know what to say. Because this is all they do online. And so essentially they are a waste of time. I don't even respond to people really anymore that do that. I just scroll past their comment now. You might say, hey, you're blowing out of proportion because of X, Y, and Z and have a conversation. But you get all these people that they lean on insults. They say cry this, cry that. But if it's about their community, not a problem. So to summarize this whole situation, do I think Big Nose is a racist? I don't know. I don't know the guy. Was I offended by his emojis? I wasn't personally offended. I can see why people are. Do I think people would be offended if it was other races or religions being reflected in emojis by somebody that doesn't belong to the race or religion? Yeah, I think people probably would. They can say they won't, but again, they don't speak for everybody. Do I think the people that got involved in this and just started hurling insults when questions were just being asked? Yeah, I think you guys are fucking stupid, if I'm being completely honest with you. You're children. Or you've just never been outside, because people don't talk like that. It's weird. It's really, really weird. The whole situation was made weird by the people that got involved in it, rather than just asking questions. We are a community at the end of the day, right? If I say something and you think it's a bad take, why don't you just ask me? Instead of coming at me with all of this hate and this vitriol and these trolly comments that really go nowhere. You know it's just going to end in a bit of back and forth online, and it's going to separate the community even more. Do I think Big Nose should be cancelled for this? No, I don't think he should be cancelled for it. I think maybe a conversation needs to be had. We are a community at the end of the day. We might be in different parts of the world. We might not be the same race. I mean, just for context, you guys know me that come to the streams all day, but you know that I'm part Greek, part Ugandan, and part German. So it's not like I have a problem with anybody over in Germany, because I know some of these people were from Germany or making these tweets. I think I might be getting that wrong. But maybe a conversation on live stream is something that needs to be had. I don't think that all of this infighting is good. I don't think people are automatically racist just because they do things people might find offensive. But I don't think asking questions when you are offended is necessarily a bad thing either. Really, in this situation, the biggest idiots are the ones that all got involved saying random dumb shit. Of course, just bringing the conversation back down to the lowest common denominator, as usual, because they don't have anything intelligent to add. But you guys let me know what you think about all of this. Do you think King Jae overreacted? Are you offended by it? Are you like me and you saw and you're like, whatever? Just more nonsense online. And do you think a conversation should be had? I mean, personally, I would like to like host a conversation where everybody is involved, everybody has had something to say here. I would happily host a conversation and see where it goes, because there's obviously some disconnect here. Some people are saying that he's not racist. Some people are saying that he is. I don't know. But all of this, oh, I don't get offended by anything. Bullshit. Bullshit. We all get offended by something, whether that be online or in real life. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Take care and peace.